Did you know there are some really strange stories in the Bible? Stories that just make you scratch your head and say, huh? One of them involves Noah, the godly man that all our children are taught to love. And the story I'm referring to is found immediately after the ark story in the book of Genesis. Let's read it together here in Genesis 9. The sons of Noah who came out of the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. I think that's how you pronounce it. Noah, a man of the soil, proceeded to plant a vineyard. When he drank some of its wine, he became drunk and lay uncovered in his tent. Ham, the father of Canaan, saw his father's nakedness and told his two brothers outside. But Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it across their shoulders. Then they walked in backwards and covered their father's nakedness. Their faces were turned the other way so that they would not see their father's nakedness. When Noah awoke from his wine and found out what his youngest son had done to him, he said, "Cursed be Canaan," that's Ham. "The lowest of slaves will he be to his brothers." All right, let's get this straight. Noah gets drunk. He passes out in his birthday suit for some undisclosed reason. And when he comes out of his stupor and found out what his youngest son had done to him, quote unquote, verse 24, he was furious and he cursed him. Now, what are we supposed to make of this story? Well, some people think this story is included in the Bible just to show that Noah wasn't perfect. Only Jesus was the only sinless person who has ever lived. But what's interesting is the Bible doesn't focus on Noah's behavior. It never even says he did anything wrong. It seems to focus more on Ham's behavior and what he did wrong. And that's why some scholars believe that the real transgression here was that Ham had sex with his father. Now, I know, where'd that come from? Well, if you actually study the original Hebrew text and the context and the passage really carefully, some people believe you can make that case. Others disagree, though, and say it wasn't that, but it's more likely that Ham just merely disrespected his father by looking at him naked. You know what I think? I wonder if the real lesson lies in how Ham responded after seeing his father. Did he react in a godly way or some other way? Well, I just happen to have a video that Ham himself took right after he saw his father, before he even talked to his brothers. And it clearly shows what his attitude was towards Noah. Here, take a look at this mini documentary.
Okay, I finally got him. After all those years of lecturing me about morality and obeying God, I caught him in the act here. There's his tent. So we're going to sneak over here very quietly, and I'm going to show you what the real Noah's like. Okay, here we go. Oh boy, is the old man going to be surprised when we catch him right in the act. Okay, get ready. Surprise! Oh, he's gone! Rats! How'd he avoid me?
Okay, we're kidding around, but seriously, isn't this a common way to respond when we see other people make mistakes in their lives, especially people that are vocal about their faith? I mean, we call them hypocrites. We think they let us down. We're angry or resentful. We're self-righteous. We're judgmental. We don't show a lot of love, don't show a lot of compassion. On the other end of the spectrum are people who are happy about the sin. What if Ham's response would have been, "Way to go, Dad. It's about time, Pops. Finally, you let loose. Wasn't that fun? What do you say we get drunk this weekend together?" I call this celebrating sin. There's no judging or condemning going on here. Yeah! It's high five time. Another common response today is what I call the denial of sin response. This is when we tell the other person that they haven't done anything wrong. We make excuses, or we rationalize, or we just ignore what the Bible says about the topic. But Isaiah 5:20 says, "Woe to those who call evil good and good evil." You know, a lot of people today, because they don't want to appear judgmental, ignore the transgressions of others. They look the other way. They mind their own business. But Jesus didn't do that. And the Bible doesn't encourage us to do that either. Now, let me be clear. if we're going to instruct or encourage other people, we need God's help in a big way. We need to be non-judgmental. We need to have a spirit of love, of compassion, of empathy, of humility. How and when you say it and how well you know the person, all these things need to be considered. So it's very difficult to pull this off. It's not easy. But again, I'm not sure that you can find much support in the Bible for just minding your own business. In fact, Galatians 6:1 says, if someone is caught in a sin, you who are spiritual should restore him gently. And then it adds, wisely, but also watch yourself. You know, my friends, sorry, I've been watching too much of the election lately. Sounds like John McCain. This is something that's very important, though. Pray that God can use you to be a person that can encourage and help other people in their faith journey. It's not always easy, but just like Ham, our response to sin is very important.